welcome to another episode of I've Had a Rosé, Let's Talk About Feelings, the show where me and a wonderful guest enjoy a beverage of their choice and talk about something that they are passionate about and see how it connects to their feelings. And before I introduce this week's guest who is joining us remotely, it's not a ghost in the studio. I'm not interviewing a ghost yet, unfortunately. Can I just say a big thank you to all of our Rosé sluts? That's what we call our wonderful supporters over on Patreon. And if you'd like to become one, you can do so for as little as £3 a month, and you get access to all kinds of bonus episodes. You get access to the original series of this show recorded during lockdown when everyone was a little bit unhinged, and some other stuff will go up there very soon as well. So sign up there. There will be a link somewhere down below, and the patrons' names will be across the screen somewhere. It will be very nice, and you feel very special about yourself. Now, please join me in welcoming this week's wonderful guest. It's Alasdair Beckett-King. Hello.
Hello, Sam.
Hello. I just got to say, I don't know if it, because the people watching won't be able to see this, what I can see, but I've got you up on a screen and then I'm in a little box next to your head. It feels very, we're calling Denmark to get the points at Eurovision.
So which one am I then? Am I announcing the point? It's all political these days, isn't it, Eurovision? I'll be honest, I've never watched Eurovision, so I don't really know. It's very political, isn't it, Eurovision?
I would say now
it's a mixture of political and costumes.
Yes, it's festive, but it's also very sinister now. So you do have to, I would say now would be an interesting time to try and get into it. Because I do think it might all be coming to an end somewhat soon.
Sometimes you see rats leap aboard a sinking ship, though, don't they? That does happen. Sometimes. Some rats.
All of the other rats make it seem so fun. I should just get on board with them.
Yeah.
But don't make this podcast about politics like you always do.
No. This is about feelings.
It's about feelings with the boys. We'll start.
Just a lad's chat about feelings.
A lad's chat about feelings. I'll start very sort of unintrusively. Hey, how you doing?
I'm okay. I'm all right. Wait, do I have to be honest? Should I have to be honest about my feelings in the context of the podcast? Or
you don't have to. You don't have
for
to be
the
honest.
sake of the opening of the show. So I'll be like, yeah, fine, carry on.
You don't have to be honest about anything ever, really.
Well, look, I obviously I think it's a great podcast title. I've had a rosé. Let's talk about feelings. But I've never had a rosé, and I don't really like talking about my feelings. So I am a hard nut for you to crack.
Well,
come at me. Think of me as I don't know when this will go out, but it's festive times when we're recording it.
It is festive
think of
times
me as
currently.
Think of me as a Christmas walnut.
Exactly. If now is the time to
you're
crack
an emotional
a nut.
nutcracker.
Oh, I've got a steely grip, and I can't wait to
That's just what everyone says.
I'm just gonna do a lovely big old crack in that shell, and then my auntie will chew on the inside.
And the insides of my feelings in this?
Yeah, I think so. Yes. Sheila's in the corner. She's
Nice.
having a sherry, and she'll
See you
chime
later,
in whenever
Sheila.
she feels like it. Yeah. Well, I'm going to take what you said at face value and just assume that you are, in fact, okay.
Probably fine. As far as I know, I'm all right.
Probably fine. Well, we'll run with that. It is currently the festive period, though. I do believe this episode is coming out in the new year. So again, I'll give you the option. You can lie about this if you want to. I can ask you if you had a lovely Christmas and you can just make it up, or we can just be honest and just say it is just a couple days before Christmas. How you're feeling about it?
It is a few days before Christmas, but I'm probably going to be feeling very excited about the new year. I always get very, very, very stressed and kind of anxious over Christmas, and then I sort of hit January with right. It's time to do some work now. Trying to do all that stuff that I've been putting off, and I just answer loads of emails.
Yes.
I feel a bit better about myself.
That's nice. I think so. Do you do much in the way of like a New Year's resolution? Are you that kind of person?
I think the whole thing about New Year's is it's a festival for people who drink alcohol. I think it's big if you're Scottish or French, but you know what I mean. But I don't drink. There's very little to do on New Year's Eve if I've never drunk alcohol. So what happens? We just count. I don't like counting.
Well, it depends which country you're from. So my family's from Spain, so we eat grapes.
Grapes?
We eat grapes.
Just absolutely off your head on grapes.
Oh, you ferment them in your mouth all day and have one singular drop of wine, and that's it. But
that sounds it's fascinating to learn about your culture.
Gracias. It's supposed to in Spain they put much like we do here, and we have like the bells and the fireworks go on at midnight, and you hear the 12 bells. In Spain, when you hear the bells, you eat a grape on every bell, and it's supposed to be like bring you like good luck in the new year and stuff. It has a name in Spanish, and I'm not going to say. And
what is that name? No, don't say that name. What is that name?
I may have.
I think the listener would really like to hear it off the top of your head. It's
right. I know it's Los something.
I'm sure. Of course, it's Los. Everything begins with Los. That's like half the words.
God, what are they called? Los Campanadas. I'm saying it in a horribly English way. Yeah. Campanadas.
Oh, I did. I really wasn't expecting the accent to come through there, and it did. Beautiful.
I can do it. It's just that if I'm not doing the accent as a joke, then it feels wrong.
Yeah, so if you aren't doing it offensively in a mocking kind of way, people are like, why is he just being sincere?
Yeah, I just I feel like if I want to get the actual Spanish right, I have to do it in a very "Hola, me llamo Samuel" kind of way. If I try and do it with a proper accent, it sounds like I'm like pretending to be Antonio Banderas or something. And doing
and could you pretend to be Antonio Banderas now for us?
Yes, but this will be from Spy Kids. The only film I've seen him in.
Of course, it's the first film we all think of when we think of Banderas. Spy Kids.
We simply must get our kids who are spies back from the floop. And
wow.
There you go. That was my Antonio.
Honestly, a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Really, really good. Alarmingly good.
That is genuinely my favourite film of his. And I know I could have been classy and chosen an Almodovar film or something, but I thought, no. I could have chosen that one where he forces someone to have a gender reassignment surgery. But no, I'll go for
The Skin I Live In.
Yes, exactly.
But I've learned from you how to pronounce Almodovar, I think, which I've only ever seen written down up until now.
Oh, how were you pronouncing it before?
I think I was pronouncing it Almodovar. With a stress on the dough? Is that laughably wrong? That's very bad.
It does feel like you're now hosting Eurovision and you're saying, right, and next we're going to Moldova. Yes. Bit of fun, actually. Now, let's have a little chat about your chosen beverage. Every guest chooses a beverage. Now, you've gone for a ginger tea.
Yes. Well, usually I drink black tea, but that's been done. That's been done on the show.
It has, yes. And thank you for checking, by the way.
Yeah, well, respectful. I'm respectful of the format. That's what everyone says about me. ABK.
We appreciate that.
He respects the format.
It's not a 5th edition of a Diet Coke. We're very grateful.
No, Diet Coke. Who was that? Pierre Novelli? Boo. Anyway, I memorised the list of all previous guests. That would be a weird thing to do before coming
I wouldn't have been able to say Pierre.
Well, let's, someone with a spreadsheet will check. Ginger tea, because this is like a pre-show drink to soothe the vocal cords, because I'm always...
vocal folds, yes.
As I get older, Sam, the vocal cords are not what they used to be, and I've got to look after them. And so having a little ginger tea just to soothe them, just to get them sort of in working order before a show.
Yes, anyone who's chosen any kind of tea or herbal tea, there is an air of medicinalness to it. Like you're doing it for a healthy reason. If I had to warm up my vocal cords before a show, I'd probably opt for a peppermint tea or something like that.
Oh, very nice, yes. Perhaps a little astringent, but yes, good. I don't actually know if peppermint tea is astringent. It's just the kind of thing people say about teas.
Well, I don't know what the word astringent
those of us
means.
who've chosen... I think an astringent taste is when you have a drink and then it makes your tongue feel tight. Have you ever had a cup of like black tea and then your tongue feels tight afterwards?
Oh, yes, I understand
That's the astringent, I think.
Okay.
But I think those of us who've chosen tea, we've done it to feel slightly superior, I think, to the people who've chosen fun drinks.
Well, why would you say tea isn't a fun drink? Because it does come in an awful lot of varieties.
Well, the history of the East India Company, it should answer that question. It
Okay.
is, steeped
We've gotten
I'm sorry, we got back
again.
to politics.
He's
It's the
telling it
Eurovision
like it is.
of the 18th century. Really?
Yeah, okay. Tea does have a very problematic history. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for acknowledging that.
Yeah. It was about time someone did. Now I'm going to feel guilty every time I have a bloody Twinings. But is it? Have you trialed a bunch of different teas and have just settled on ginger as being the most effective for getting the vocals in order?
It's tingly. It
has
just
a
a
tingle.
tingly one. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
got a nice tingle to it. And sometimes you need that when you're doing, when you're on your own, you're about to do a gig. It can be lonely.
Yes.
But who's that tingly friend? It's a cup of ginger tea.
It's my tingly friend ginger tea.
It's just a tingly friend.
Just a
tingly
tingly friend.
green room friend.
I've the last couple of weeks been getting into a turmeric tea. It's a turmeric chai.
Oh.
And you can have it with milk or without. I think I do prefer it with milk, but it's still good without it. But here's the question for you. The brew time. I don't know if you're fussy about a brew time of a tea, but these turmeric chais, it says to leave them to brew for 9 minutes, which I think...
9 minutes?
Isn't
9 minutes?
Isn't that a bit long?
Well, though, I've got a friend who's super into tea tasting. You know the way some people do wine tasting, and he has like the master book of all the things like water temperature,
Right.
brew time.
Yeah.
And the annoying thing is, because I want to be like, just a normal cup of tea, but
Yeah.
actually he made me some cups of different. Like green tea is usually, let's be honest, horrible. Mm-hmm. But he followed his instructions. Like the water's 70 degrees, it brews for exactly this amount of time. It's really nice. You go,
Yeah.
oh right, yeah. It is better to do. They've worked it. These geniuses have worked out how to make exactly the right cup of tea, depending on
Yeah.
what type of tea you're having, and it is better, unfortunately.
I hear it is kind of like if you ever eat any like frozen food, like a chicken dip or anything like that, you don't look at the instructions. You bung it in at the oven at 180 for 20 minutes and you just hope for the best.
Yeah, but if you cooked it according to the instructions on the packet,
Yeah.
that would be coming out delicious.
Why are my chicken dippers so frosty?
This is sort of, you're doing observational stand-up, but for people who really don't have their lives in order,
Is
people
that
who
not
are just
what
not undercooking
all stand-up
chicken.
is? I don't look at the audience and go, you are fine.
You just come in with the assumption that they're all on the brink of salmonella poisoning and work from there.
Specifically that. I'd be like, oh,
Yep.
you're all on the turn, I can tell. Yeah. So apart from tingliness when you have a ginger tea, how does it take you to any place? Like if you have a ginger tea when you're not performing, just a recreational ginger tea, do you sometimes get the feeling like, oh, this is like my pre-stage drink? It feels like I'm about to go on stage.
Weirdly, I kind of have that about decaf coffee because I never used to drink coffee at all until the lockdown. Because the only time I would ever have coffee is when I was doing a gig. You'd go to a hotel after the gig,
Yeah.
and there would never be any decaf nothing would be in the decaf in the room apart from coffee. So if I wanted to have a
Right.
hot drink, I would have to have a decaf coffee because I didn't want to have a caffeinated drink at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
And so I during lockdown when I was missing gigging, I realised that I was missing like the worst coffee imaginable, like decaf instant hotel room coffee,
It's
because I
pretty dire.
associated it with the as you know, the unalloyed delights of going to do weekend club gigs
Yes.
and then staying in a hotel room afterwards and feeling a bit sad. And so I started drinking coffee just to sort of to bring that back. So
Yes.
I do have that association, but it's not with ginger tea, which to me I sort of associate with being a little bit under the weather. You know, it's a little sort of cozy. It's a blanket of a drink.
Feels restorative. I
Yes.
hear you. Although
If I were a video game, it would like heal me a bit, not a lot, just a bit. It would just.
Now, see, I would say a ginger tea, in my head, that feels like it's in the elixir category. If anything, that's going to replenish your mana, not your HP.
That's a really good point. I was not familiar with your game, and I respect that.
I've been playing a lot of Diablo 4 recently because it just got put on the PlayStation, like, free, where you just have the game and just play it. So I've been getting very much back into a sort of like little action RPG moment.
Right, I'm sorry, I didn't realise this was a nerds podcast. I came on the understanding that we were both jocks. So
it is a nerds podcast for nerds who fuck.
Sorry, what was that hand?
It was like I was
What was that hand gesture?
I was about to mime exactly what everyone thinks
Yep.
that I know
The
how
listener
to
may
and
not
love
have been.
to.
Will the listener just have assumed that was the mime you immediately went to?
For the benefit of listeners, I was miming a cheeky little bit of Christmas Cunnilingus, and that's the only time I'll do it.
Yeah, for Jesus. That's what he would have wanted. So it's the real meaning of Christmas, in my opinion.
Yes, it is. Jesus died so that we could have a little bit of a...
Yeah, but in the manger, as they say.
Yes.
No, he was
have a
born
little-
in the. Yeah.
That's where he was born.
Anyway, he was
yeah.
born, but he was born at Christmas, though. Anyway, I don't theologically. I've tied myself in a little knot here.
He doesn't half go on about it enough. Every bloody year as well. You know, one time, we will get onto your topic in just a second, but the when I was younger, living back in Cornwall, and you sort of go to like a carol service or a Christmas concert just because that's all that there was happening. So you go to the carol concert, and there was someone outside the church when we left one time who handed my mother a nail, and they said to her, "This is so you can remember that this is the time that Jesus died for our sins." And my mum said, "I think that's Easter." And the other person said, "No, pretty sure he died at Christmas, and that's why it's such a big deal." And I was like, "You don't even know your own religion."
Wow! Imagine going to the extent of buying accoutrement before checking the order, like just the order of the. That's like really basic.
Just to be in queue, just going like, "Oh, you got a big DIY project coming up," and I'd be like, "No, I'm just going to remind people about the crucifixion of Jesus at the wrong time of year."
And then just blithely pushing the trolley out while they go, "Oh, hold on." I used to do it when I was a new act. I used to do, and for many years after being a new act, I used to open by doing an impression of John the Baptist's beheading, which for the benefit of anybody watching this is this.
It's very
So
good.
that's the impression. It's very good. It's a very good impression. And I remember after one gig, a guy came up to me and was like, when have you ever received a compliment that made you feel worse after a gig, like the person who gives you it and their state of drunkenness when they come up like, "You were the best." You're like, oh dear.
Oh.
I don't. This is not. You're not the demographic I was aiming to impress. And he was, "Oh mate, you were the best." And then he grabbed his friends who presumably had not been in the show and pointed to them and said, "Do the Jesus head." And it's like, you must please tell me you know that Jesus wasn't beheaded. It's such a sort of central pillar of Christianity. It's not. They're not wearing his head on a necklace. You know that isn't Jesus. Tell me you know that.
And everyone took a little piece of his body and wore it on a necklace, and that's why we put the cross on a necklace now.
And that's why we celebrate Christmas, when Jesus was beheaded.
I don't think... would anything be particularly different? Like, I guess we wouldn't have the cross, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, we all get round and behead the turkey, I guess. We do this in remembrance of Jesus.
Yeah.
Bake a little gingerbread man and snap the head off. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that honestly sounds delightful.
That sounds really good. I do like to start with the head with gingerbread man.
Did you? I had that with jelly babies growing up. I was always told you have to bite the head off first because then it's less cruel.
It doesn't suffer, yeah.
Yeah.
Who taught you that?
I think my stepdad was like, "Oh, you always bite the head off because then it doesn't feel any more pain."
And is he Spanish? Does he sound at all like Antonio Banderas, the stepdad?
He's from Leicester, unfortunately.
That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. I would love to have heard that in Antonio Banderas. You must bite the head off.
Yes, you must bite the head off. Because los niños del jelly do not want to feel the pain. That's going on the voice reel, I think.
I just don't think I did. I'm sorry that I misjudged your range because it really is incredible.
I value the fact that anything that I can do somewhat okay comes as a surprise to anyone at any given point.
People just startled by competence, by a bare display of competence from you.
Sometimes I'll do something and people go like, "I didn't know you could do that," and I'll be like, "Yeah, there's no reason why you would think that."
You're just there riding on a bicycle, and everyone's like, "Oh, well done, Sam."
You have genuinely chosen the one thing that I actually don't know how to do. I can't ride a bike. But I do have a 2-star certificate in kayaking, which is useless.
When I went kayaking as a kid, I invented a new way of sinking a kayak that the instructor had never seen anyone do before. Not to show off, but,
Are you keeping it a secret? Are we allowed to know?
Well, okay, but I don't want everyone to start doing it. What I did was, usually most people just go over, don't they, in a kayak? It's very easy to you just go over, it fills up with water. Yeah. You capsize. Thank you. Of course you would know the lingo. What I did was every time I turned, I just turned a little bit too far. Just let a little bit of water into the seating area, and then I would turn again, let a little. I didn't do this intentionally, but every time I turned, I was letting a little bit of water in until the whole of the kayak was underwater, but there was still enough air in the nose and tail of the kayak that I wasn't sinking, but I was just sort of standing in the center of the lake with just from the waist up. In the middle, but with no ability to sort of move in any direction. So I was sort of trapped there.
It's sinking with style.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I was going down with the ship, just very, very slowly.
Yeah, you're building the tension.
I was like, is it supposed to be like this? Is this part of it? And then they just tipped me out of it and emptied the kayak. Yeah, they just tipped me out. What I wanted was, can we solve this situation without me getting more wet? Because the top half of me is completely dry.
Dry.
That's half a win.
Yeah. Well, I always find with kayaking, you just have to accept at least a wet bum.
Oh, the bum was very, very wet.
No one gets away without a dry bottom.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Well, lovely. We've enjoyed a sip of ginger tea, and now we will start talking about your chosen topic. Now, I did have to do some research on this, so I made notes, because your chosen topic is Steven Universe. That's correct.
I chose the topic Steven Universe.
Steven Universe, and what I have here is Steven Universe is a Republican senator from Denver, Colorado, who is populating the theory that dust sent to us from space is slowly making all of the donkeys trans. Now, why did you choose that as your chosen topic?
Well, I would say educate yourself, Sam. If you're not aware of what's going on out there's a lot of information out there. You can't find it through search on YouTube. It's got to be direct links sent to you by friends, because the search algorithm is limiting Steven's reach,
suppressing him.
Yeah. So if you just responded to any of the texts I was sending you, you would know all about this.
Well, see, I believe he has quite a good Telegram channel, so I think that's what you've got to get into.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want to get on the Telegram, get on the dark web, get onto a Tor browser, find out what's really going on.
Peel back the layers of truth.
Yeah, what's in the middle of the onion? It's a little clove of truth.
A little clove of truth.
Yeah.
Now, what I just did there was a little bit of a prank, because that's not actually what Steven Universe is. It's not what Steven Universe is at all. No,
you got me.
Not. Got you. There's a camera here, there's a camera there.
What?
There are 2 cameras. That's it.
If I swear now, will a little bubble appear in front of my mouth showing that I'm swearing, like on, what was it called? Beatles About.
Beatles About.
You should pull off that beard to reveal a different beard.
Yeah, okay. Ewan saying yes, he can do that in post if you want to, but make it like a really sort of like give us like a really creamy swear. Like,
I don't really swear very much. What's an offensive enough word to bleep? Oh, can you say that? You can't say that on the internet. No.
no, typically we don't allow slurs on the show. I'm kidding. He didn't do that.
It's been bleeped. No one will know. No one will know what I said.
No. Of course, Steven Universe. It is a much beloved cartoon, and is it? I always sometimes I feel like with certain shows which I think have a large adult following. Not in a sexual way. I just mean the people who watch it are older. Sometimes, if you call something a cartoon or something that makes it sound potentially childish, someone will correct you and go like, "Don't call it a cartoon. It's actually like a living graphic novel, or it's actually just sort of like moving art. It's like probably beyond your comprehension." Are you fine calling it a cartoon?
Yeah, it's a kids show. Absolutely, it's a kids show.
100%.
Which I watched as an adult.
Fair enough.
Because I'm too old to have watched it as a child.
Right.
But, I've written some kids' books. There's no shame in something being for children. Things that are for children should be good, shouldn't they? And some of them are.
I agree. Yes, kids should have access to good things sometimes.
Not all good things, but all things that kids have access to should be good.
They should get like one nice book, but then they should also get, I don't know, colic or something.
Well, they've got a lot of David Walliams books.
Not for much longer.
For now. At the time of recording, they were still on shelves. Be interesting to see if anything changes.
You never know. I always say it's always the people that it is very obviously who it is.
Yeah, it's always the people who you were told 15 years ago it was, and nothing happened.
But let's talk about Steven Universe. So I said to you before we started, I've never seen the show. I've seen
big problem there. Big problem. I tried to choose something that I loved that I thought you would like, because Steven Universe is basically a TV show for gay children. And
Lovely.
I'm a heterosexual adult man and have no business knowing anything about it, but I thought maybe you would at least have a passing familiarity with it. How can you have missed out on Steven Universe?
I hate the gays. I hate children. And that's why I think I should be the next mayor of London. It's one of those things where a few people have said, like, I think it's the kind of thing that you would really like, actually. But like a lot of like things in media, in culture, the way I've interacted with the show so far has been through contextless clips on TikTok that were put before me sort of against my will. It just pops up whilst I'm scrolling through all the other videos of...
So you've only experienced Steven Universe non-consensually up until this point?
Yes, non-consensually. I was made to watch Steven Universe, but then I was also given the option to stop watching it as well, such is the nature of the app called TikTok. But it would just pop up every now and again in between a woman who puts an entire block of American cheese in an oven dish and then puts dry pasta around it and then covers it in mayonnaise and herbs and then puts it in the oven and then she gives it all a big mix and it looks like a lovely big old dish of sick.
I love those videos because the people in the comments are like, why is this woman doing this? She must know that this is bad cooking. It's like, yeah.
She does.
Yes, they do know.
Yeah.
No, there's nobody out there who thinks that you should actually just smash up tacos onto a work surface and then pour barbecue sauce all over it. No, that person doesn't exist. They're doing it on purpose.
No one has said, you know what the best way to eat spaghetti bolognese is? Put the spaghetti just dry onto a kitchen countertop and pour sauce raw from the jar on top of it. Add the beef in about 6 hours later.
But the world is full of people who think that, I guess that's how they do it in Missouri. It isn't. It isn't how anyone does it anywhere. They are doing it on purpose.
Someone's not had spaghetti au Colorado.
Just pouring Cheerios in the toilet.
Dish.
They are doing it for attention. They're doing it so that you argue with them.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So Steven Universe pops up in between a hate watch of those kinds of videos. And it is a very wholesome sort of like contrast between those two different types of clips. Now, here's what I know about Steven Universe, and maybe the rest of the time that we have you is you sort of explaining why I would really resonate with it. I like the art style from what I've seen. I do enjoy that. I like a cartoon.
It has the CalArts bean mouth, which the reactionaries all hate. So that the mouth is sort of shaped like a bean. So it's got that cutesy sort of art style that a lot of the if I can use the word, a lot of the sort of woke lib animators. You know the ones I'm talking about.
The ones who make Family Guy.
Yeah, it's the ones who make far left propaganda like Family Guy.
Yes, exactly. Well, so what I understand
it looks gorgeous. It's very, very cute animation style.
Yes,
it's beautifully animated.
And what I know of the plot is that it's about a boy called Stephen who is half human boy, half. Is it a gem boy?
Half gemstone.
Half
gem boy.
Gemstone.
That's a slur, but gem. It's not, but it does sound like one. It does sound like a slur, doesn't it?
Let's
a real
make
gem
it
boy.
One. Let's make it one. I don't know who it applies to, but
well, since we've both said it, it must be us because only we can use the word gem boy. So if anybody calls us that, they're in big trouble.
You call me big gaping gem boy? How dare you? I did think maybe it could apply to jewelers, and then I could just have a lovely walk into town, pop into Chisholm Hunters, and be like, nothing but a bunch of fucking gem boys in here.
I've got to say, when you're being homophobic, it gives you an interesting. It gives you a sort of authority and a stage presence that you've never had in my eyes, but somehow it really works for you.
Oh, it's slightly too real for the material I've been doing this year, but yes, I agree.
Are you pivoting to homophobia? That's what you've done. You've reeled them in like an anglerfish, and now you're hitting the fans with your actual opinions.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. It's going to come at them roaring hard, but not
Antonio
in a gay
Banderas
way.
is his real voice. That's what he actually sounds like. He's been doing the other voice all this time.
Any negative comments that I get are always telling me that the voice that I'm talking in right now is not real, that I'm putting this one on. Yeah, because they just don't believe that a man should sound like that. And I agree.
I mean, I don't know. I grew up in Durham, and I'm older than you. I'm not sure how popular being gay was when you were a kid. It was extremely unpopular when I was a kid. And I still knew kids who spoke with what you might tactlessly refer to as a gay voice, which suggests to me that I think if you had a choice about whether to sound like that in a comprehensive school in County Durham, you would not talk like that. So I think people are just talking as them. I think people are just being themselves.
Yeah. No, if I had a brain in my head, I would have spoken like Antonio Banderas.
Yeah, obviously. I can't believe they're not doing that all the time.
I'd have replaced any gay rumours with like, I think Sam might be Spanish.
I think, you know that Zorro guy? And then I think it's Sam.
Have you ever seen them in the same room? No. Sorry. Anyway, slurs aside.
You can slash your S with a sword because it's just the same as a Z, isn't it?
I can, or I probably.
And then the L.
I do the cool one with the 6 lines, and then you join them up, and then
the cool S.
The cool S.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so Stephen is half human, half gem. And
He's
then
a gem boy.
there are other gem persons, gem beings, and his mum is a gem, and she's Rose. Rose
his mum was a gem, but she's dead.
Oh, okay. She went to the big H.M. Samuels in the sky.
Yeah, yeah. She's with the Gem Boys now.
She's with the Gem Boys. So that's what I understand. I understand the premise, and then also very conveniently, when I was googling, it gave me an AI summary of how to get into Steven Universe.
Oh yeah,
this was wonderful advice. It said if you want to start watching Steven Universe, we recommend you start at season 1, episode 1, and then watch them in order. And I said, you know what would have happened anyway?
That's brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah. Lovely.
That's exactly how I did it. Even without the benefit of AI, we didn't have it in those days, but somehow I stumbled on that myself.
Yes.
So Stephen is a kid with a gemstone for a belly button, and he is raised by his he's not living with his slightly beatnik ex-rock and roll dad who lives in a van. He's living with his sort of aunties, who are the crystal gems.
Right.
Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl, who are superheroes of some kind. They're the crystal gems, and they protect the Earth from all kinds of problems. So it seems like a sort of superhero show for the first series. And the first series is like 50 episodes long for some reason. It's incredibly
50?
long. It's incredibly long, and then the other series are a normal length.
50? How long is an episode?
They're quite short. I think they're 10 minutes long.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's a kids show, but it's very funny. It's got some very funny songs. It's got loads of cool songs and beautiful animation. But I'm going to try and get at what's cool about it, because I think it is quietly, on the down low, just one of the best science fiction shows ever made on television.
Okay.
So we think you've got a familiar sort of, they're weird superheroes. It's a kids show. Why wouldn't it be? But as we learn more about it, we find out that Rose Quartz, who died by giving birth to Stephen, because gems can't really have children.
Oh, okay.
So she sort of gave up her life in order for us to have a kid. We learn that Rose and the other gems are refugees from an interstellar war, and outside of the Earth there is a massive war going on, in which the gems are conquering the entire universe, and they are the last remnants of the forces that stood for sort of individuality and freedom.
Wow.
But they've sort of given up on the war and are just sort of hiding out on the Earth.
Right.
But you have the whole first series without finding out anything about that until they are discovered at the end of the first series by agents of the diamonds who run the crystal world. Now, you don't know anything about any of the things that I've just said to you.
I've heard all of those words before, just not said
Is
in
any
that
of this
order.
making any kind of sense?
I'm following so far, yes.
I think it's the last episode of the first series has what I think is a really brilliant bit of writing, and I find it incredibly moving. So there's a character called Pearl, who I think just reminds me a bit of my mum, who is very, very passionately loyal and clearly in love with Rose Quartz, but now looks after Stephen out of a sort of sense of obligation to her Rose Quartz, and Pearl is very uptight and sort of very rigid and extremely repressed, and is a fierce warrior. They all are.
Right.
And then there's Garnet, who is twice the size of everybody else for some reason.
Oh.
And in the final episode of the first series, one of the enemies discovers them, basically sort of pies them off, I think, to use a modern term, and sort of insults each one of the crystal gems. And she refers to Garnet as something like an embarrassing display, and we don't know what that means. And she refers to Pearl as a defective pearl. And for me, just that line where she says, "this defective pearl," it's a brilliant bit of writing, because it tells you that this character who we've met as Pearl is not Pearl, she's a pearl. And Pearl is a type of rank within the world of the gems. And pearls are supposed to be one way, and they're not supposed to be anything like our Pearl. Pearls are sort of like personal assistants, and they're meant to be beautiful and dainty and polite and passive. And they're not supposed to fight, and they're not supposed to do any of the things that Pearl does.
Right.
And so I can't describe to you why I find this so moving, but I think it's a really, really moving bit of sci-fi writing, where this character who we've been introduced to, we suddenly discover has been made wrong in some way, or at least made wrong in the eyes of this authoritarian people. And the same with at the beginning of the next series, we meet two other characters who we don't know, and it turns out that those two characters are Garnet, because gems are able to do a thing called fuse. So if two gems of the same type fuse, they become a third gem who's bigger than the first two.
Okay.
But you're only allowed to fuse with the same type of gem that you are. There's a huge taboo against fusing with other types of gems.
Oh, I see.
It's an analogy for gayness or transness. It's not exactly an analogy, because like all of the characters are female and they get married later on and they're all in love with each other. So it's expressly gay, but it's also, it works brilliantly as an analog, because they've got this taboo, which is that you're not allowed to fuse. Two different types of gems aren't allowed to fuse and form one gem.
Right.
But they're in love, so they do it, and that is the character of Garnet. And so there's this sense that all of Amethyst. There's a sense that all of the heroes who we've met as superheroes are, in the eyes of the world they come from, weird perverts.
Okay.
And defective and weird, and that is like that just makes me. I find that very moving. I think it teaches it interesting. I don't know that the show teaches sort of good lessons for the kids, because I think the characters are always making bad decisions because they're sort of quite traumatized. Yeah. But I find it very moving. I can't communicate it to you because, Sam, you haven't seen this show.
I haven't seen it.
Can you edit that down? Is there a concise version of that?
I think what we have
it would be so boring for anyone who hasn't seen it.
Is to go along with just sort of your description. We have a little clip ready to play. We're just going to watch all of season 1 just right now, very quickly. Can we cue that up? I probably will give it a watch now.
I think you should. It's very funny and light, and the first series is full of it's just monster of the week, one silly thing after another.
Right.
But they're doing really thoughtful storytelling. I think really thoughtful science fiction, and it's really thoughtful when it comes to things like sacrifice and loyalty and the pressures that people are putting on Stephen to sort of live up to his mother, and the frankly bad decisions that she made without being an evil person that have caused all of the problems that they're currently in.
Right.
So I think it's a thing that a lot of kids probably relate to, because a lot of people have mums who they love but who didn't always make good decisions. And that's sort of quite a real thing. And I think it's lovely.
So is it one of those? It's a show that is a kid's show, but it feels like all of the themes and all of the things that get covered in the show are actually more for maybe it's just because if you're talking about if there's undercurrents of sexuality and gender identity, which were things that weren't talking about when I was growing up, it feels like if that's in a kid's show, then it feels like all of the playful colors and the shapes and all of that's for the kids, and then the actual dialogue and the stuff that actually happens in the plot, that's for the adults or the parents or the guardians who are watching.
Maybe that is the people who it's a lesson for. I mean, they struggled with censorship when it was being shown in other countries. There is a wedding between 2 female characters at one point, and the Russians didn't like that.
Well, that is out of character for them.
I should say they're very unfair on the Russian people in general. The Russian censors, the Russian broadcasters, didn't like that. But nor did, frankly, Middle America. So this is I suppose it's the archetypal cartoon that's turning the kids trans or turning the kids gay or whatever the kids are being turned these days.
I do know that Jinx Monsoon, who is trans, and most people will know them from RuPaul's Drag Race and Broadway. They voiced a character in Steven Universe, I think.
Yes, although I can't remember which character. But I think I only discovered Jinx Monsoon after I'd already seen the show.
Yes, well, such as the times we live in, you could start enjoying somebody's work and not even know that they're also a drag queen, and then you've got to ask a lot of questions of yourself, haven't you?
Yeah. But imagine that drag, children being entertained by drag. As British panto goers, I am shocked that you could possibly have a drag performance for children.
I do feel like all of the protests at drag queen story time events for children, I feel like there were protests about that in the UK, but not nearly to the extent that it was in America, because I think here it was just kind of like, well, by the time you're 4, if you've been to one panto, you've seen at least 2 or 3 panto. You've seen drag.
Yes,
and we've got a lot.
It happened at the pub not near me, even though the drag story time was no longer happening, but the protests kept happening. But it's such an obvious American import, because it's like, come on now. And also, that the drag queens who are usually sort of running the show in these pantos are gay men who are also on a personal level, extremely unpleasant people for the most part. Is that unfair? Just, sort of tyrants, petty tyrants, lording it over their little fiefdom of this panto they put on every year. And if you cross them, you are in big trouble.
Yeah.
This is not. There's not behind the scenes. There's nothing wholesome about a panto, but
Well, Panter's very adult as well.
And also is full of saucy jokes. And the dads are laughing away.
Full of saucy jokes, but also in more recent years, they've started doing pantos which are more explicitly adult, like especially like
Jim Davidson's Sexy Pantos, which I'm aware you're a big fan of, Boobs in the Wood and so forth.
Boobs in the Wood. Yes. In fact, I'm in that one.
Yeah, I thought it was Antonio Banderas, but now I realise
no.
it was
Well,
you.
that's obviously the voice, but no, I'm the two-bottom donkey. They forgot to get the front half of the donkey, so I played two bottoms for the price of one. Bit of fun. But yeah, but going back to Steven Universe, there was like a long history of cartoons that started getting popular as I was growing up, where you learnt more and more. The visuals all for the kids, the content is for the adults. So like my brother is 23, but there's a big age gap between us, and he is still really into SpongeBob SquarePants. When he was growing up as well, he enjoyed SpongeBob SquarePants, but he didn't understand any of the jokes or anything.
Because it's really funny, I don't
funny.
know it very well, but when you drop into it, it's got some great gags.
It's you can drop right into it, and it's, really like gag heavy, very funny, but like you wouldn't understand any of those jokes if you were a child. They'll go right over your head because you don't understand the references yet.
I know what you mean, but don't you think, like, I loved growing up watching like Warner Brothers cartoons full of like Peter Lorre is always in, like Peter Lorre is always in Warner Brothers cartoons, being like, and I'm like a kid in the 90s being like, yeah, I'm loving this reference to a film from 1940, but I was, and then when I discovered Peter Lorre, I was like, oh yeah, that guy from the cartoons.
Yes,
you know, I loved going like. As a comedy nerd, whenever a joke came along that I didn't understand, I just filed it away as like, must find out what that reference is at some point. And then you watch Citizen Kane and you're like, okay, now I understand all this stuff from The Simpsons.
Right.
You know, now I'm getting all of these visual references.
Yes, I used to do
and
that
allusions.
all the time with this. The Simpsons was my favourite cartoon. I had like a wall.
Maybe you're not as much younger than me as I thought. I thought I was safe with Steven Universe, but I'm now sensing... Are you also an elder millennial?
I'm 34, so yes.
You are much younger than me, but still boomer. You like The Simpsons? That's boomer coded.
It is boomer coded, but I did the same thing with The Simpsons, where I would find jokes very funny, but not understand why. But I knew,
yes,
I knew because of the rhythm and because there was like a little pause after Homer said this, or like
you can
this
spot
thing
the
happened.
shape of a joke, can't you?
You see the shape of a joke. You see that joke's buxom little figure, and you go, okay, I know a joke.
Saucy little creature.
That saucy little.
I do believe there's a joke there.
Saucy. Is that a joke, or are you just happy to see two big sharks? I
got to say, your impression of straight men is becoming more and more offensive. There, that we would behave
too
like
real.
That, turns out.
Too real. People don't like to see themselves. That's what I've discovered. But no, you'd file a joke away, and then you'd rewatch it like years later, and then you go like, I remember that joke, but I only get it now because I didn't understand what they were talking about back then.
Yes, absolutely. Like Sneed's Feeds and Seeds. I entirely missed that until the internet drew my attention to it.
What did you say?
In The Simpsons, they go to a farm which is called Sneed's Feeds and Seeds, and then there's a little subtitle that says "Formerly Chuck's." Yeah, which presumably was from the days before people could easily pause live television and read that properly.
Or they had that X-ray feature on Prime Video, which occasionally just puts up like all of the cast that are currently visible on screen, and then a little fact.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Well, okay. So Steven Universe, I'll give it a whack.
Thank you. Please whack it. I did a spoof of it. On not exactly of it. I spoofed cartoons when I was growing up based on Cartoons Now, even though obviously it's quite old now.
Okay.
I did a little animation of like a Transformers-like animation and how sort of cheap and crap they were, and how just they were just like, "Hey kids, buy me, please buy me. Do you want the communists to win?" and being like, I'm talking with no lip sync, because the characters are always covering their mouths.
Oh, yes.
Which I realised I shouldn't do that. The characters are always covering their mouths so that they can animate scenes where they have conversations in cars, but you can't see their mouths because it's cheaper. So they were like really crappily animated by comparison.
Yeah.
Whereas the Steven Universe-y kind of one is like, I guess I learned about unconventional family structures today. But the number of people who thought I was saying the first one was good and the new one was bad, and they were like, "Yeah, Transformers was way better." It's like, no, I like the new one. I can just also see what's funny about it. I can make fun of it, but I think Steven Universe is much better than Transformers as a piece of work. Have you seen the quality of the animation in it? It's terrible.
In Transformers?
Yeah, these cartoons, they have really brilliantly animated title sequences, and then the episodes are absolute crap.
Yeah.
Because all the money went on the titles. And they're just reusing stuff. It's lazy and cheap.
Talking of crap cartoons, and I think this will hopefully be where we finish this conversation and we'll go to the last segment. But I do want to get your opinion on, and I don't know if you've seen these, the rise of the right-wing cartoon, which I keep seeing like different and they're always on like a TV or streaming platform that nobody has.
Yeah, Chunks TV.
Chunks TV, newstruth.blog or something.
Yes.
But like they'll do parodies. Well, they're not even parodies. They're full, properly made cartoons.
I think that's what's sad about them, isn't it? That they're really trying sincerely to do a good sitcom, like from the olden days before woke killed jokes. And they can't do it because, to be fair to them, like it's really hard to write a really good sitcom. It's really hard to do a good animated sitcom.
Yeah.
It's not surprising that they don't manage it.
No.
I actually did a spoof of that as well before it happened. I did a spoof called, I think called it Welcome to Gammon Town, for like a GB News cartoon.
Oh, lovely.
And again, people in the comments were like, I don't even know what this is a spoof of. Are you making fun of the left? And it's like, no, I'm making fun of you.
Yeah.
But it was before, because I thought they were probably going to do that. And then they did do it. They were several of these sort of kids, because there's now lots of sort of AI generated cartoons for kids where we learn that maybe they didn't mind being enslaved. And actually, it was quite good for the economy. It's like, should white people feel guilty? I don't think so.
Slavery was bad, but like everyone did slavery, so
it was the style at the time.
Yeah,
In context, everyone thought it was groovy. So I caused or predicted that.
I think it's all your fault. Yeah. Much like.
But I do love that. But genuinely, I think it's kind of cool that. It's cool to realise how really hard it is to actually do something that's good. Because people have this idea that, we need to go back to when comedy had no rules and you could just do anything. It's like, when was this time when you could just put anything in a sitcom and the channel didn't care? Like, this is a made-up time. There was never... It didn't happen.
No, it didn't.
It's always been really hard to get something made. I mean, it's been slightly easier than it is now, but it's just hard to do good work.
It's hard to do good work, and it's also such a good point as well of the people that you are making fun of not realizing that you're making fun of them. Because I had that with my friend show this year, where I do sort of quite explicitly say there is a type of person in the audience of a comedy show that I don't particularly enjoy. Spoiler alert, it may or may not be straight men. And
I'm sorry, have you got a problem with just banter? What's the problem with just a bit of banter?
Sorry, whoop, 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 it's the banter police, and we're all gay. But I made my case in a funny way, and I was very clear at the end to say, like, I'm not saying, like, all straight men are bad. I'm just saying, can you please just be a bit more thoughtful? And I had straight men in the audience after the show when you're doing your bucket speech, like, walk by me and go, like, do you know what? Really enjoyed that. Thought it was really funny. And then they give me some feedback, and I go, you didn't get it at all. You still enjoyed the show, but you don't know why. Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yes.
You go live your blissfully ignorant life. It's fine.
But this is exactly that. When they say, the reactionaries say, like, you couldn't do Blazing Saddles now, or what's the American version of Till Death Us Do Part? The one with Archie Bunker. Is it All in the Family?
Maybe.
Yeah, it's got about a sort of bigoted patriarch who obviously was supposedly the target of the jokes. But yeah, they've fundamentally not understood the stuff they like, and so they can't reproduce it because they don't understand what it was.
Don't get it. They don't get it.
Yeah, and they're being motivated. There's good right-wing artists, there's good right-wing comedians, but they're rarely creating from a point of sort of revenge. Like, I'm not sure many good sitcoms are written out of spite. Maybe a few, but I just don't believe. I don't think it can work because you don't know they don't know what they're trying to create, and they don't know what was good about the thing they like. It's like the reactionaries who all love Star Wars, but sort of reckon that they're the rebels. But you're like horror, you're obviously the bad guys in real life.
Yeah,
but you don't know what it is you like about Star Wars.
Yeah, how interesting. God, people are funny, aren't they?
Yeah, aren't they funny?
They're just funny. Listen, it's been lovely chatting. We simply must do the last segment of the show.
I'm sorry, I spent too long describing the entire plot of season 1 of Steven Universe. Maybe that will edit down a bit.
We can do.
Shall I just give you a really short version of it? Like, it's a gay show for trans babies.
It's a gay show for the trans. Easy.
Yeah, it is. They've got to have something. So there you go, Steven Universe.
And it was all written by Ricky Gervais.
Yeah. Yeah.
It takes a very different tone in season 2. Oh, bit of a laugh, bit of fun. We've got one last segment that we like to do with all of our guests on the show, and we call this segment Quick Fire Feelings.
Okay.
Or QFF, as no one has called it in the last 100 episodes. I've got 5. Quiff. It's time for Queef.
I'm glad we're finally in the Queef round.
I've got 5 random things on the card, and I would just like you to tell me how they make you feel. And you can make a noise. You can say one word. You can say several words. It's up to you. Just whatever comes to your head.
But quickly. Importantly, it's got to be quick.
Do you know what? It's not even a queef. It's a oof.
Because sometimes my emotions take a while to reach me. Sometimes I don't know about them until much later.
Well, we're about to find out. We're about to go on this journey together.
All right.
First thing, we do ask this to everyone. How do you feel about dark chocolate?
Love it. I'm a vegan, so why replace the milk? I can just have dark chocolate. I'm a grown-up. Yeah, elder millennial.
Does that mean you have? If it has to be vegan, do you have 100% dark chocolate, or do they use a milk substitute or something?
There's dark chocolate that isn't like 100% cocoa.
Yeah.
Although I have had it, but it is like sort of eating the night. It is.
Yeah.
It is a little bit much.
Yes. Okay, fair enough. How do you feel about peanut butter?
Are we talking with bits or smooth?
Dealer's choice.
Okay, I think peanut butter, the flavour's fine. I think you've got some texture issues going on there. I don't take responsibility for that. I think whether crunchy or smooth, I think you've got some texture problems.
Okay.
Peanut butter, some stuff you need to work on. It makes me feel uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable. Fair enough. All right. How do you feel about the simple art of crochet?
My girlfriend does crochet all the time.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, so take that knitting. We've done it all with just one needle, so it's twice as efficient.
Finally, the anti-knitting agenda exposes itself. Finally. How do you feel about those ads for mobile games where it's not the game if you download it and they play it really badly on purpose because you look at it and think, I could do better than that?
Yeah, I hate them. It's the video game version of people making pasta in the toilet. Yeah, stop it. Stop it. Everyone should tell the truth all the time. Is that too much to ask?
I genuinely think in these troubled times it is.
Yeah, it is actually quite a lot.
I think you're asking a lot, actually.
Christmas is coming up from our point of view. We can't be completely truthful of Christmas dinner.
We simply can't. Finally, how do you feel about Sill It Bang?
I think I feel kind of triumphant, like Barry Scott. I feel triumphant. The dirt is gone.
It is gone.
Bang! Whoa! Don't you feel great? This is what it's like to be a straight man, Sam. Do you that innate confidence, a sense that I deserve to be here?
A perfectly synchronised bang with the lads. Oh, and you know what? That's the true meaning of Christmas. Whenever this has come out, and that doesn't mean anything anymore. It's the true meaning
of early January.
Yes. it. We've cracked the January market. Thank God. Well, listen, that brings us to the end of the episode. It's been lovely having you. Have you enjoyed yourself?
I have. I'm embarrassed by the amount of detail I went into about Steven Universe. I hope that can be remedied in the edit.
No,
I really like it. Good show.
Hey,
it's
thanks.
been a delight.
Hey, thanks. It was a good show because you were also here. How about that?
Oh, thank you.
Oh, isn't that nice?
It was lots of fun.
Before we let you go, is there anything that you'd like to plug for the listeners, for the viewers?
Yes, actually, since it's January, you've got about a month and a bit before my tour of the UK starts. So if you're in the UK, what a coincidence! You can come and see me do my show King of Crumbs in all across the UK. By which I mean mostly southeast England.
Okay,
and then to a lesser extent the rest of England, and then to a much lesser extent Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. Like much lesser. Like one date in Wales, one in Northern Ireland, and one in Scotland.
Yes.
And all the rest of the dates in England. And people say, why aren't you coming to Aberdeen? And it's like, I don't control population density in the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
Either I get more famous or the Orkney gets more populous. And I'm doing my side. What are you doing, Orkney? Get more people there.
Just getting a comment that says, well, please tell me you're coming to Ashby Diller's Ouch Piss Shack. No. Well, that sounds like a...
So yeah, screw you, loser places that I'm not gigging. But please do travel to Glasgow, Belfast and Cardiff for the show.
Yes, for the international gigs. That sounds like a lovely tour. We will pop a link to that in the description of the episode. Do go check it out. You're never going to bloody believe it. I'm also going on tour.
Well, it's going on tour.
Well, I'm doing a couple nights at Soho Theatre in January. Still a handful of tickets left if you have absolutely massive hands. And then the rest of the tour kicks off from February until March. And I am also going to... actually, I don't remember where I'm going. I think some dates are still to be announced. I'm coming to a city that is either near you or nowhere near you.
Yeah. Oh,
and that's that. Lovely.
Sounds nice.
Well, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And we will see you again for another episode next week. Hey, take care of yourself. Never ended an episode like that.